Welcome aboard Rocket Ship, the platform with the most relevant content for competitive examinations. As part of our answer writing series for general studies papers of civil services mains examination, we'll take up a question that might be expected in paper 3 of the mains. Let us read out the question together. What are the different ways in which community can be associated with biodiversity conservation? And what are the measures that can be adopted to ensure that the community retains its enthusiasm for biodiversity conservation? So, as we can see, the question has two parts. In the first part, we have to mention some of the ways in which community can be associated with biodiversity conservation, or in fact the community has already been associated with biodiversity conservation, but you can give some examples here. And in the second part you have to suggest some of the measures that can be adopted to ensure that the community retains its enthusiasm for biodiversity conservation. So how do we introduce our answer? Let us go by the very basic manner, that is defining biodiversity. Define the keyword. Biodiversity is the diversity in a species, gene pool, that is genetic, and habitat, that is ecological diversity. So biodiversity has some 3 or 4 aspects, including species biodiversity, gene pool biodiversity, habitat or ecological diversity, and so on. Biodiversity, now we will see biodiversity's functions, biodiversity's benefits. Biodiversity is source of food, has aesthetic value, and provides diverse ecological services, as we will see later. So some of these functions are of special importance, special interest to the community. So the community has an interest in the preservation, in the conservation of biodiversity. Now we will see how the community can be and in fact has been associated with biodiversity conservation. As we can see in the adjoining graphic, that these are some of the manners in which biodiversity can be associated with biodiversity conservation. We'll take these one by one. The first is religio-cultural practices. Some religious and cultural practices have the effect of conservation of biodiversity. These practices provide, they advise you to be compassionate to, for an example, wildlife, and this in turn leads to conservation of biodiversity. We can give the examples of Bisnoi community and Manipur's Umang Lais or various forest deities. Then we have community vigilance. Community vigilance can help prevent wildlife crimes by reporting and in actual prevention effort. Then we have community forestry. This is the kind of forestry that is undertaken with the community's benefits in mind. We have indigenous knowledge, folk medicine, ecosystem functions. We will define and give examples of some ecosystem functions later. Folk medicine, we certainly understand these are mostly some herbal remedies and also some herbal cosmetics and so on. Sacred groves, community reserves, etc. Now we will elaborate these points one by one. First is religio-cultural practices. Some religio-cultural practices lead to protection of wildlife. One of the examples we have given here is the examples of Bisnoi community of modern day Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, etc. They had yeoman role, they had very important, virtually central role in the conservation of black buck population in India. Then some forest deities and the associated sanctums. Forest deities and the associated sanctums, that means the forests which are considered sacred and in fact where these deities are supposed to be residing, they are supposed to be based. These associated sanctums and their mythologies also lead to conservation of biodiversity. The examples we have given is Umang Lais or forest deities. It literally means forest deities. This phrase Umang lies, it means forest deities, and this is a practice, this is a religio-cultural practice among the Meitei community of Manipur, and this in turn leads to conservation of biodiversity, as the forest, the sacred forests themselves are protected, they themselves are conserved. Then we have community vigilance. Community vigilance can help prevention of wildlife crimes by first reporting them. For an example, reporting poaching, reporting wildlife smuggling effort, and so on. We can give the example of success story of Kaziranga. Actually, previously, some of the tribes which reside around Kaziranga and in fact within the national park were associated with poaching. So it was decided that rather than policing this place, policing Kaziranga, it was decided to associate these communities with wildlife protection. For example, appointing them as forest guards, and this has led to a success story in Kaziranga, which is well known. Then early warning. The community can serve as early warning mechanism for forest fire and communities firefighting effort. We have given examples. These are adopted in places like Uttarakhand, Himachal, etc. The community was first drafted to report forest fires, and then even in fighting these forest fires. So this has also led to some reduction in the forest fire incidences. Then community forestry. Community forestry is the forestry that is undertaken with the express purpose of benefiting the community. This has, for an example, the stages of afforestation, reforestation, and later management of these forests, and the community can be associated with all these stages. We have the example of indigenous knowledge. For example, folk medicine, some ecosystem functions, crop diversity. We know that the indigenous communities practice crop diversity more than we do. They actually consume a very diverse kind of food, and ultimately they raise a diverse kind of crop. So the crop diversity can be protected by the indigenous communities through their knowledge. We also have sacred groves, community reserves, etc. In sacred groves, this is a very famous example of Mangarbani. Mangarbani is a patch of forest that is considered sacred, and it is based in the National Capital Region. It's actually in Haryana Delhi border. It's on the Haryana Delhi border, and while the most of the natural vegetation in the National Capital Region has already been lost, because Mangarbani is considered sacred, it has been preserved by the community. So the community has the role of, it has the effect of, community's participation has the effect of preserving Mangarbani and similar sacred groves. Now, naturally, the second part, how do we retain the community's enthusiasm? It is very important that we think from the point of stakeholder centrality. As the community is a stakeholder in various functions that the biodiversity performs, and it is ultimately a beneficiary of some of these functions. It has central role both in first preserving the biodiversity and then ultimately benefiting from biodiversity. So use this phrase, stakeholder centrality. It would make your answer really elegant. Then how we can, for an example, minor forest product rights can be devolved to the community, as has already been done in some of the states like Chhattisgarh. In this way, as the community will benefit directly from the minor forest products by actually selling them or by using them. It will have an obvious incentive in preserving biodiversity through conserving the forests themselves. Then this term is also important, access and benefit sharing. What it actually means. Uh, Imagine that someday some medication, some herbal medication has been found which is quite efficacious. It is an effective medicine against some particular disease or anything anyway. So this, and it has to be commercialized. What access and benefit sharing says that the community whose knowledge is being commercialized must get some of the benefits of this commercialization through, for an example, IP rights, through intellectual property rights, and so on. The Biodiversity Act of 2002 provides for access and benefit sharing. We have promotion and commercialization of indigenous knowledge. So, when the indigenous knowledge is commercialized, the community must also get some benefit from it, and its indigenous knowledge should be promoted and commercialized. And again, promoting ecotourism and wildlife tourism and so on. This is quite obvious that it would lead to conservation of wildlife diversity or biodiversity. Sorry. So, how do we conclude our answer? As we have seen, biodiversity conservation can get a boost by community participation, as community's proximity, that is community's nearness, its knowledge, etc., can be helpful. It has obvious knowledge of the biodiversity because it is almost always nearest to the biodiversity. For example, habitats and so on. So its knowledge can be helpful. Its interest can be retained by making it a stakeholder. As we have already talked about stakeholder centrality, so make it a stakeholder and ensure that benefits are shared with it. These are the ways in which the community's interest can be retained in biodiversity conservation. So this is how we sum up our answer. We meet again for the next lecture in a few days. Meanwhile, you revise your notes and do a few answer writing. Always do answer writing practice. In fact, we encourage you to write your own model answer based after reading out our model answer in the comment section below. We wish you all the best. Thank you.